Hello friends, I am Lakshman. You're watching Learn Programming by Lucky Sir YouTube channel. I hope you are enjoying my videos. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on bell icon to receive new videos through notification.
In this video, you will know how to make a website by using Python programming language. Firstly, you need to understand that a website or web application consists of two major parts. They are front end and back end. Front end or client side is nothing but what you see as a user on the web browser. That is the web page, the layout, images, and the small widgets like buttons and badges. To design the front end of any website or web application, we need HTML. To add elements like headings, text, paragraphs to our web page. This is how a normal website with just plain HTML would look like. Pretty plain and boring, isn't it? To make things better looking and to add colors, we use something called as CSS or cascading style sheets which style up out HTML page. So here is how HTML and CSS website look like. That looks neat, but what if you want to add interactivity to your site? How do you make your website perform some action when you click a button? That is where JavaScript comes into the picture. With JavaScript, you can interact with your website by keyboard inputs, mouse movements, clicks, etc. Once you learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you will be able to build an application like this. You may accept user input, process the data from the input, and give out a certain result. Now let's talk about the backend. Let's assume you want to build something complex, maybe a social networking application like Facebook. With basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you will be able to design a layout which looks like the Facebook homepage. That's all cool and fine, but where exactly would you store the user data? So here is where database comes into the picture. A database is nothing but a central repository which stores all your website data. Database not only is used to store the data, but it should also be able to retrieve the data. For example, when you type in the URL as www.facebook.com/byluckysir, a request is sent to the Facebook server stating that we want data related to a person who has a username by Luckysir. This is what technically happens. When you type in a URL on your browser, that URL request gets sent to the server. The server then sends back to the appropriate response. In our case, it will query the database and look for data of the said profile, that is by Luckysir, and will send the data back to us. Then how do we program the server so that it can add and retrieve data with the database? So here is Python comes into the picture. With Python, you can make sure that you are able to query the database for certain results and also update, delete, and add data from the database. This is called as server-side programming or backend programming. So here is what I suggest. If you're already familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you may start learning Python. Even before you jump directly into Django, you must first learn and understand Python in depth as the Django framework is based on Python. If you are a completely beginner, I would highly recommend learning Python first and only then begin with Django. So that's all about information about how to use Python to make website. So thank you for visit. Have a nice day.